Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, Rosebuds? If this is your first time visiting the Rose Garden YouTube channel, my name is Kimberly Ann. I like to create content for women all around the world, black, brown, whichever, that are like myself, a single mama of three, out here healing through her own mistakes and life lessons, as well as learning how to become more emotionally mature, all the above, and breaking ancestral and generational curses, dramas, and traumas. Um, Check my description box below if you would like to visit with me. We are about 40 subs away from being at 500. If you guys take me all the way to 500 by next Thursday, which is Thanksgiving, for Black Friday, I am doing a 50% off sale on all my services, from my readings, natal chart readings, coaching sessions, my Amazon book, all that will be 50% off for Black Friday. And I'm not going to end the sale until after Cyber Monday. So Tuesday morning is when it will end. But I will do a full weekend sale for all my services for you guys to book for December. November is booked up. So you guys can start booking for the December slots that are available. I have deactivated the Rose Garden University. I am switching its platform over to something that's more conducive for me, and is more, it has where I can do everything, the bookings, the teachings, coachings, everything all under one site. So bear with me as I am redoing that. I am going through a bit of a transition in life, which I'm super excited about. So a few things are being rearranged and moved around. But as I settle down, I promise the Rose Garden University will be back up and running as soon as I can. Okay? So let's get into this message. Sorry, I'm drinking my tea, y'all. Felt like I was trying to come down with something. I said, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Let me go ahead and knock it out now. 12:21 on the clock as I say that. I'm supposed to be studying for an exam right now. I had to take a break and do this message. Um, I'm at this point, I'm about to just pray on this exam, baby. Listen. I'm so tired of taking tests. It's not funny, but I'm just at the beginning. Eventually, I will be in the swing of things. But for right now, I'm just trying to fake it to make it. So, from the divine today, as I was just preparing my breakfast, I had got my kids off to school, and I was preparing my breakfast, and I'm just like going over my thoughts and things. God said to me, remember when you prayed for a man like your father? And you all know, you listen through my journey and my videos, I have come to the realization that my father was exactly like my youngest child's father. Thought he was this big shot gangster, had women all over the city, kids all over the city, um, was just a mess, complete narcissist. Not that my dad is 100% out the water, but he's definitely better than he was back in the day. However, he still has his moments where I'm just like, I can't deal with him. I'm not gonna deal with him, like, at all. And that's kind of what I've come to the conclusion on. And what Spirit said to me was, it's time to undo the prayer that you prayed when you asked for a man like your dad. And I said, oh my God, you are absolutely right. I did pray for a man like my dad. And now it's revealed to me I've gotten men like my dad. However, when I prayed that prayer, I did not know my dad. I did not know that my dad had hella women in his back pocket, so many illegitimate kids all over the place, um, narcissistic issues, trauma from his childhood. I didn't know my dad had all this. My little lashes. I'm gonna put my lashes on before I go to school, child. Well, I got my lashes just sitting in the video. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, honey. I gotta keep them safe somehow, some way, baby. And it dawned on me. I was like, oh my gosh, I really did pray for someone like my dad, and I got that version of my dad. And it took, my mom's been with my dad almost 40 years now. It took him 40 years just to be where he is now. By me praying that prayer, possibly 20 years ago. Yeah, because I prayed it before I had my first child. Because I wanted someone, I wanted a nice person. I realized, baby, you literally prayed for that version of your dad that was in his 20s, his 30s, and thank God you stopped it now, so you're not dealing with that in your 40s. Um, and Spirit just want me to let y'all know, Rosebuds, the wishes you made when you were young are currently playing out in your life. And like I'm saying, I'm hearing like early 20s, so that 18, 19, 20 years, or even in your elementary years as a child, when we all thought our dads were this big superhero, the ones that were around anyway. We didn't really see the faults of our dads until we got older. Um, and it's so crazy. Like, all of my kids, all except for my youngest daughter never saw her dad in a good light until we she saw him in jail. That's when she fell in love with her dad. And then when he got out of jail, she fell back out of love with him. It's weird. I guess she liked him in a more controlled. He was more controlled and cool and collective. She liked him when he was more structured in who he is, versus this one who's all out in these streets all over the place. She ain't feeling that at all. She will not deal with that man at all. And there's nothing that I've said to her to make her feel that way. She's been like that since birth. Like, even as a baby, she would look at him like, that's not my fucking daddy. She literally would look at him like that. And when I pulled her chart, my baby has Saturn in retrograde at 0 degrees in her fourth house. Roots, home, family, father. Yes. In her fourth house. And I said, wow, my baby was born into this world with the father wound right off the bat, which explains why even as a baby she's like, he ain't it. She knows for a fact she doesn't want to deal with anyone like her father. My daughter is adamant that she is going to have a great bonus dad. She is so adamant about that. She's like, I know my bonus dad gonna be the shit. She's like, I'll wait. She's like, I'll wait for my bonus dad. I don't want to deal with him. And she's only 5 years old. And I said, you know what? Mommy got some work to do. I got to get you a bonus dad, because my baby wants a bonus dad. So Spirit wants me to let y'all know that. They said one wish that has stood out was the wish for someone like your dad. Let's see. They said do not be mad at yourself, because that was a very innocent wish. But what we didn't realize when we made that wish is we didn't specify which version of him we wanted to manifest. It says your dad had poor habits prior to you. Your dad was a womanizer, could have been a womanizer. Your dad was technically and still is a deadbeat dad, could have left a bunch of kids behind. Maybe in a prior city or a prior life that they once lived. And because, let's see, the mamas didn't want nothing to do with the father, your father could have potentially didn't want nothing to do with those children that they left behind. Your father, 10:10 on my clock as I said that, decided to only deal with your mom because your mom stuck around to deal with his bullshit until he got too old to keep doing it, or he realized the shit he was doing was really fucking shit up for him. So now you're living in the heartache of those women and children because you prayed for someone like daddy. Your mom, which I just said this, was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was your dad finally decided to settle for only because no one else would deal with his shit. And there are a lot of men out here that are waking up and realizing that a lot of women don't want to deal with their shit. A lot of women don't want to deal with their shit. And it's so funny. My dad had said to me when my youngest father was in prison, my dad had said to me, because no one else was there for him, T, he gonna be by your side. And it didn't dawn on me what my dad was saying at that time, but I held to what my dad said so tightly, and I'm like, it's approval of my dad. Now I don't give a fuck if my dad mad at me or not. I don't give two fucks, because once that man got out, nothing of what my dad said happened. Once that man got out, and the only reason why nobody else was there for him, because nobody was willing to drive as far as I was to go see him. Nobody was willing to go help with an attorney. Nobody was willing to do that. That's the only reason why he was still dealing with me. But then once he got out and, oh, now he's close enough for all these hoes to deal with, and they're all opening his doors for him, then he started like bagging away. As soon as that man bagged away, baby, I bagged off too, completely, never to return. And he is going nuts. But I'm realizing, in order for my dad to have been able to give me that advice, that had to have been his mindset at one point in time. And when he would relate Tay being in jail to when he was in jail, and how my mom stood by him, I honestly feel if when my dad got out of jail, if any of them other women had allowed him to come play in their face, I don't truly feel like my parents would be together today. I don't, because the way shit just played out with Tay, I did it. But I realized I prayed a prayer asking for a man like my dad during a time I didn't truly know what and who my dad was. And Rosebuds, I know for sure this message may hurt a couple people. It may trigger a couple people. I don't give a shit. Pop off, go to the next channel. I don't care. This my shit. This my story. It's time to pray a new prayer. It's time to pray a new prayer. So, the prayer that I started praying a few years ago, prior to my child's father getting out of jail, I want to say back in 2022, I started praying a prayer that, Lord, send me the person he has for me. I wasn't too stern or stable on that prayer. I didn't stick to it, or else I would not have even dealt with my child's father while he was in jail. And I can admit to that now, because I noticed how no other relationships would work, because I wasn't stepping away from what it was that I didn't want anymore. I didn't fully cut it off and let it go. Today I did me a nice little writ to make sure that shit don't come back, because I'm dead ass serious. I want to only be with the person God has for me. So the way I've restructured the new prayer is I say, Spirit, make me the version of the woman that I am here to be, that only attracts the man God has divinely designed for me. That is the prayer that I have been saying. And I'm saying it to you, Rosebud, so then you can say it for yourself. You want to focus more on becoming the version of the woman you need to be for you to attract better. We have been ingrained and raised and been living like how we thought our parents want us to live. And a lot of us are realizing now, we're waking up now, that has gotten us nowhere. We've taken off the rose colored glasses and we're looking at our parents' lives like, y'all ain't really doing shit. Like, y'all not really. And it's so crazy. When I was growing up, I really thought my parents was like really doing shit. I'm like, oh, we got businesses, we got Jags, Land Rovers, you know what I'm saying? We got the biggest house, but it was still in the hood. You know, I really thought my parents was doing something. I'm like, my dad always at work. But as I sit back and think on a lot of stuff, none of that shit was healthy. My mom was hustling. She had her business. She was trying to help run my dad's business. None of that shit was fucking healthy. None of that shit was healthy. I had to stop before I ate my breakfast this morning and pray and thank God and say, hey, Spirit, I really want to thank you for making me into this version I am now, where I'm not getting up rushing in the morning. I can remember like it was yesterday how every morning in my house it was like a traffic jam. It was chaotic. Everybody rushing and running. My dad cussing folks out early in the morning. My mom fickled and frizzled in the motherfucker, and we still would get to school late as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I love how my children and I get up every morning. It's as if we ease up into the morning and we ease into school. Some days we're late, but not that late. And then some days we're right on time. But what I love the most is how I'm able to come back to my home and be in my own space, and I'm not rushing to do nothing. I love it here. I prayed for this type of sanctuary. I prayed for this as my past self, and now my future self is living it right now. So I literally thank God this morning for allowing me to become this version that I am now, that's not living and hustling and bustling with for a man like my mom did. We 17 minutes in, and I did want to pull some cards, and we gonna pull just a few. But I wanted that message to get out to y'all. Undo that wish that you once made, where you prayed for a version of your dad. If you really sit and look at your children or children's fathers or father, they are the splitting image of your father. Therefore, the version of you that attracted them is a splitting image of your father. Many of you may look like your father. I look identical to my dad. However, just recently, I realized I have dimples. I have dimples. I don't know if it's coming with age, but I just realized I have dimples. It's This Love by Bob Marley. Bob Marley was actually one of my dad's favorite artists. And I actually bought him tickets to go see Ziggy Marley. I'm trying to remember, and I think something crazy happened right after that. He dogged me out for something right after that. And I said that'd be the last concert I ever buy for you to go to. I am so learning that I don't have to do anything to impress anyone. And that is the life that many of us rosebuds have come from. A life where you had a mom who prided herself in trying to impress your fathers because that's what they wanted. They put your moms in competition with females that really didn't even want them. Like, my sister came up and gave me the gift of clarity, and she said, my mom finally told me the reason why she left my dad was because your mom was the straw that broke the camel's back. She said she didn't leave because of your mom. She left because she was tired of dad having So many different women. And that's why she left. I said, wow. Discipline. A lot of our fathers lacked discipline in their past. And when we prayed for a man like our father, we did not take into account, have they gained the discipline needed to first be able to repent for the life they used to live? Did they make anything right with those people from the past? We didn't take that into account. That's all a part of discipline. So now many of us rosebuds are learning discipline to have boundaries. Because not only did they lack discipline, they lacked boundaries. They had a lot of envy in their heart. A lot, my dad for sure, a lot of indecision. My dad for sure had a lot of that. Ooh. A lot of endings had to take place. And right now, you are having the death of a wish that you once made. It is time to make a new wish, rosebuds. It is time to make a new wish for your kingdom spouse from a healthy place. A healthy place. Not a wounded place. And it wasn't your fault. That's why Spirit wanted me to let y'all know that was an innocent wish. That wasn't your fault. It was an innocent wish, and it was a wish. High Priestess and King of Cups came out. It was an innocent wish made by you without knowing your parents' past. My dad would only tell little pieces of his past. It's the pieces that made him look good. Them was the only pieces he would tell. He didn't tell about how women got tired of his shit and how they felt. Oh no, no, and many of your parents did too. But once you wake up and you realize, Rosebud, it is your duty to be the high priestess and to become emotionally stable and change the outcome. Stop praying for someone like your dad. Some of our fathers have yet to finish reaping the karma of the shit they've done in the past, because they've had children who, my God, oh my God, they had children, us, who see them, or saw them rather, in this light, and they feel that, oh, my kids think I'm great, I'm great, so everything I did in the past don't matter. Yes, it does, because now your kids are living the karma of the choices that you've made until they wake up and shut it down. So, it's so funny. Once I kind of woke up to who my dad truly was, a lot of things started happening for him health wise, or to him health wise. And that was one of the things I had to come to acceptance of. Once you wake up and you cut that cord of putting him up on a pedestal, so then he's avoiding all the karma he's getting and you're taking the blunt of it, a lot of shit starts changing, transforming, and breaking down. Big time. And you will see it. And it is not for you to interject yourself into it, because that's their karma they have to reap. That's why some people don't age well. That's why you have a lot of people, they do not age gracefully at all. You could tell who lived a pretty honest and wonderful life where they weren't out here robbing Peter to pay Paul, based on how their lives start breaking down, based on the quality of their life. The amount of work and hustle that my parents did, I just knew by now that my parents would be on a cruise somewhere in another country, enjoying their best lives. They are still in that hustle mode. I've enjoyed more of my life than they have as a single mother, but that's because it was a choice I made. I made a choice to undo a lot of what they taught me. Look, world card. So I'm going to end this message there. This was a very short message. Drop the burdens, Rosebud. Let go of those wishes you made. And I want y'all to really think, especially during this new moon. And this reading was so, oh my God, so convenient for today, because what what's coming with this new moon in Scorpio is a lot of secrets are being revealed, and that's one of them. That's one of them. You're realizing where you've made poor decisions or poor wishes, and this is how they're manifesting. And you didn't think praying for a man like your father would look like this, but little did you know, like, my mom has been in the way of my dad's karma, so why wouldn't the karma come and hit you? That's what you have to think about. Is your mom the empath that stayed in the way of your father getting his karma, and then your kids end up having to deal with it? Now, granted, my mom's catching her hell too, and because she's held so much down for my dad, now she has bone cancer. Her bone structure is now too weak to keep carrying the weight. And it's like every time they get ready to get on top, they get knocked down. I noticed that that was a pattern in my life. Every time I would get up, I would get knocked down. Now I know why. Now I know why. I prayed the wrong prayer and didn't even know it. The universe is always listening. Always listening. The universe is not racist, it's not biased by no means. It is always listening. Shine, rosebuds. Sorry about that. It's time to get up and shine. Talk less, feel more. Attend to the details. Make time for self love. Breathe through the tension. Step up and lead. It is time for you to shine, rosebuds. This is your life. We no longer are living in our parents' shadows. We no longer are living out our parents' karma that they keep avoiding. We no longer do that. We no longer do that. We now are living our true life and our true self. We are illuminating our true path. And that's what I want for you, rosebuds, because that's what I'm praying for me. I love you all to the moon and back. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really, really, really hope this message touched somebody, baby. Listen, when it came to me, it touched me. But today it really set in my soul. And I just was like, oh my gosh, Kim, you did. And you got that version in each father. I'm not even going to go through the full breakdown of how each man identified different parts of my father, because it's the past and I no longer want to focus on that. Now I'm focusing on me, praying for me to become the woman that I need. I'm praying for me to become a healthy, emotionally stable, nurturing, loving, fun having woman, creative, boss babe, a wonderful mom, a wonderful girlfriend, to a wonderful wife. That is what I am currently praying for. I am praying to become that version so that whatever else manifests in my life manifests around the version of that woman that I have become. And I want that for you babes as well. I love you guys to the moon and back. Enjoy your day today. Stop, take time with this Scorpio new moon. What can you release and what can you bring up that you need to transform? Transform those inner wishes to something that's more suitable for you all. Love you all to the moon and back. Bye.